And thanks for joining me for Coffee with Kiera from our sponsor, The Human Bean. You can find them on Highway 101 and 6th Street in Newport. And today we are talking with Sergeant Winn, the Lincoln City Police Department.
How you doing?
Wonderful.
Excellent.
So tell us a little bit about the Lincoln City Police Department. What are some of the things that you do?
Well, some of the things that I specifically do is I'm a supervisor of a team of officers that work. Currently, we're the day shift weekend team, and so I have several officers that work with me, and I supervise them as they do the normal day-to-day policing activities that happen in Lincoln City, which is a lot more than most people think.
So tell us a little bit about what you do. I mean, we see the police cars out there patrolling, you do traffic, looking for those lawbreakers, speeders, red light runners.
Right, we're involved in everything from traffic enforcement to taking calls from crime victims, reporting crimes, all the way through detectives that do the child sex abuse crime investigations, and we've had murder investigations that are done by our detective division. So we do the whole gamut of police work. The same stuff that happens in big cities happens in Lincoln City, although not as frequently, thank goodness. But it all happens in the same here as it does up there.
And you do drug enforcement as well?
Drug enforcement, that's all part of the enforcement activities that we do, and hopefully someday again we'll get a drug enforcement team going together again with all the other agencies, because that usually works out really well for the county.
That's right, the Lint team was amazing, and it would be great. But you're also working on getting a police dog. That's exciting.
We are. We're working. We're excited about that. If we can get enough the donations so that we can get a dog, we're going to start with trying to get one dog, and then maybe go from there and get another one. So that'd be awesome, because we're now utilizing in the sheriff's office dogs when we can, when they're up in the area, and they graciously come out and help us when they can, and we appreciate that. But we would like to have one of our own to be able to call upon to do what we need done up here with the dog.
And speaking of which, you work really well and collaboratively with the other police agencies, the sheriff's office and state police, even Tillamook, right?
Yep, we work with Tillamook. Tillamook, their drug enforcement team, worked with our drug enforcement detective that we had before he was promoted to lieutenant, and he still keeps in contact with them. And we work with the sheriff's agency, and we work with Newport and OSP, and all of the agencies in Lincoln County get along very well, and they work together very well, and that's what helps us be able to solve crimes.
And that's something that's kind of unusual, isn't it?
I don't know. I hear that it is unusual, but I don't know that it is. I've only worked full time for Lincoln City Police Department, and we've always had a good relationship with the other agencies, and so I mean, we've always worked well together. So for me, that's just standard procedure, the way to work together.
And of course, one of the jobs of the police officers is to help protect folks from crime. Let's talk a little bit about ways that people can stay safe.
Well, one of the ways, just some things you can do for yourself right off the bat, is make sure you lock your car at night. Don't leave your keys in your car. Don't leave valuables in your car that can be seen, from the window. And there's, bad guys that go out and they're not going to break a window maybe, but if the car is unlocked and they see something, they're going to get into it and see what they can take. So it's kind of a crime of opportunity. Now, if they see something in there like a computer or something and your doors are locked, they're going to try to break the window to get that. So you want to take those out, and so you're not giving them crimes of opportunity. Lock the doors to your houses, lock your windows when you're gone, those type of things. So.
Now, it's something, we live in a small community. We all like to think that our neighborhoods are safe, but it's still really important to lock up and also watch out for one another, right?
It is, and the neighbors watching out for neighbors is a lot more proactive than even we can be, because we can't be everywhere at one time. So when your neighbors are watching out for you and watching your house and you're watching their house when they're gone, that's just the extra set of eyes that we need that's going to give us the information if something does happen to you know, make an arrest or that sort of thing. As long, and they usually call us and say, hey, there's something suspicious going on at my neighbor's house. And even if it turns out that it's just somebody coming there to work on the house and they're supposed to be there, we can show up and find out, and that's what we're here to do. So we do that all the time, and it's just great when the neighbors, you know, work together like that and watch out for each other. It's all about taking care of each other.
And of course, Lincoln City is a town like others along the coast that has a lot of vacation rentals. Any tips for folks that have the vacation rentals?
Well, the vacation rentals, they're kind of a strange duck, because you can go on to any website now, and usually you can see, you know, see the house and see what it looks like, and generally see what they have in it, because the rental companies post, here's all the stuff inside our rental house, you know, that you would like to have when you come in here and rent. And so you know, those are a little bit more difficult, but again, it's about keeping it locked up, and a lot of those need to have alarms, that sort of thing, and they need to be checked, and we recommend that they have surveillance cameras and that sort of thing, where in places where they can have them, and that sort of thing. But it's not like someone's going to be at that house every day, so they have to take the extra steps like that.
And then recently, you're working a case, to try to find a suspect who put a skimmer switch on
Right.
an ATM. How's that going?
Well, we've got photos out in the media of the person that we think is the suspect who did it, and we've got photos of another gentleman who was there after who we think the suspect was. He came there and didn't use the machine, we don't think, but we don't know whether he was with the suspect or whether he is just a witness that may have seen the suspect leave or seen the car that he left in. So we're still working on that. We have not got that person identified, the suspect, but we do know that these skimmer devices have been placed on a number of different ATMs across Oregon and Washington, and so some of the pictures of the suspects are similar, and so we're trying to coordinate with other agencies on that. So it's kind of a slow thing. We believe we have all of the people that were from here that were victims that used that ATM at the time the skimmer was on there. We believe we have them all identified and have that information down. So, and the bank was very good about contacting us and telling us, hey, we think we've had a skimmer on our ATM, and we need your guys' help. And so they called us right away, and so TLC, they were great with helping us with that.
So we use our ATM cards and debit cards and machines all the time. And when you go to your bank, you're assuming that that's going to be a safe place to use your card and access your account and your money. Are there some things that folks can do to kind of check things out a little bit,
Right.
to make sure that where they're putting their card is safe?
Yes, especially on the ATMs, the ones that are outside of banks and that sort of thing. We recommend that you look at the ATM, give it a good look over quickly, really first, and then when you're there, and make sure that nothing looks out of place on it. The skimmers, the way they work, they're kind of like, if I use this lid as an example, they're kind of like this, they're round like this, and your card goes into a slot that's right here. And so the skimmer looks just like this, with a cavity in the back and the card, and it's the same color as the opening of the ATM. That will be placed right over the top of where the card goes. So your card goes in past the skimmer into the ATM machine. You'll be able to use the ATM machine, and it'll work, and you'll get your money and everything out, and then you'll pull your card out, and that skimmer will be there, and then the suspect will come back, get that skimmer, and as your card passed through it, it will have taken all the information off the magnetic strip of the card as it passed through for your account.
So it has your bank account information. Does it have like your PIN number and things like that?
You know, I don't know for sure that if it gets the PIN number when you put that in or not, but they don't really have to have that PIN number to be able to start using that information on the back of that card to start placing orders on things like Amazon and those type of things, because they don't need the PIN number to do that.
Just the credit card information.
Just the credit card information. And what happens is if you go up there and grab that, it's green or blue, grab that deal and pull on it. If there's a skimmer on it, it'll come off. It either attaches with some sticky or magnetically, and it'll just pull off, just come right off in your hand just like that. And if that ever happens, we recommend that you call the police agency right away and don't handle it. Don't handle it as much as you can, because there may be fingerprints on the inside of it. That's where they have to plug in and get their information from. And so and those can be put on ATM machines, or they can be put on gas, where you go get gas. So put that over the top, and
there's no way to really check that, because
you have to pull on it. It's the only way is checking and pulling on that before you slide your card in. Make sure that it's secure and it's part of the machine, because if it's not part of the machine, it'll come loose.
All right. Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to add?
That's it. Just make sure that you're taking precautions, trying to keep your cards in on your person. Don't leave your wallet laying around. Don't leave your cards laying around. It only takes just mere moments for them to get the information that they need to start running up your credit account or charge account.
All right. So, well, Sergeant Winn, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
For joining me with Coffee with Kiera, again sponsored by The Human Being, with stores located on Highway 101 and 6th Street in Newport, and coming soon to Lincoln City.
Yeah, we're happy about that.